Very excited and happy to say hello to our first guest of the day. It has been quite the journey with this individual. Between myself and him, we've had him on the show many times over the last couple of years, and then in October of 2023, I'm on Twitter and I see that he has proclaimed that he would never speak to me again and he would never come on my show again. There it is. I won't be doing any podcasts with Ariel Helwani. And this, quite frankly, took me by surprise. But around, I don't know, 2 months or so ago, we were talking about the UFC flyweight division. We were talking about who was next for Alex Pantoja. And I had said that Muhammad Mokaev should be next. Unfortunately, no longer in the UFC. All kinds of, I don't know, speculation surrounding that. And I saw him comment on that, and that was fine. We have always tried to keep, personal feelings aside from reporting and what's right and wrong. I've done this time and again. And then maybe a month or so later, he DM'd me and we talked about his situation. And then just a couple of days ago, I extended an invitation and I said I thought it would be a great idea if he came on the program, and I would love to have him on the program. And perhaps there's a lesson and a message to be learned in all of this. And so without further ado, let us go all the way to Thailand and say hello to my old friend, Mohammad Mokaev, who is kind enough to join us. There he is. Mohammad, how are you? Salam alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum. How are you, Ariel?
It's good to talk to you. It's good to have you back on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it looks like you're in a nice location. I do understand that it's 1 a.m. or so over there in Thailand. So I appreciate you doing this so late in the evening over there, which is where you're training these days. Let's address the elephant in the room, and then we get to your situation. Is that fair?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Is there someone there?
No. It's in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sleeping in the daytime, so I have more time in the night. That's why it's a bit time difference, so I can speak to my family sometimes. That's why I'm up late.
Okay, I understand, and I appreciate it. Why did you tweet that in October of 2023?
Because what was going on, I see I saw you post about the Israel thing, and I was supporting Palestine, and I think there was miscommunication between me and you. Was like you support your people, I support my people.
Yes.
And I took personal. I thought you talking about everybody, but I didn't understand what your words meant.
I appreciate that, and I know this is a very sensitive subject and a very tough subject to speak about. But my stance has always been, especially on this show, I want to have people from all walks of life, from all parts of the world, from all religion, and I think that sport can be the common bond, right? We can talk about sport. We may not agree on everything, but we can be cordial. We can be friends. We can be professional and agree to disagree on things. And so I'll be honest, I was a little bit hurt when I saw that because I thought we had a good relationship. But I do acknowledge that at that time, and let's be honest, still a year and a half later, it's still a very tense situation, and we may never agree on everything. But I think we can hopefully agree on this, that we just want peace and prosperity and no more killing and everyone to live a happy life. Is that a fair sentiment?
Of course, that's right. I think Olympics been created to unite people, and sport it should be like that way. And maybe like 1.5 years ago, I was a little bit taking everything personal, and now I become more mature. Even what I want to say now, I think about it before I say something.
Interesting. Okay, well, I appreciate that. And we can leave it at that because I've always felt that you are a very talented fighter. I remember when your manager, Tim Simpson, reached out to me when he signed you. I believe you had just competed in the IMAF. He said, this guy's a future UFC champion. He has all the makings. He's an incredible young talent. And at the time, I think you were still in your teens. And we got to see a lot of that in front of our eyes. You had a great run in the UFC. You were undefeated. And then you have the fight in July. And then we find out that it's your last fight in the UFC and that they won't be re-signing you. You've had some time to digest this and to come to terms with it. Could I ask, Why do you think that happened? Why do you think we've heard Dana White speak about it, and I know you've done a couple of things, but why do you think they didn't re-sign you? Because historically, they always re-sign someone with your resume, with your undefeated record, all that stuff.
Um, I really till today I don't understand like a real situation. Like of course there was a beef in the hotel and stuff, but but I really don't know. I really don't know. Maybe there's miscommunication between my team and UFC. Maybe there's like people said he was talking to PFL, like which I never did. Maybe somebody did. Whereas in PFL there's no flyweight division, and being 7-0 and having negotiations with another organizations, that must be like stupid thing ever anyone could do. And I believe nobody done that from my team. And another stuff, maybe my style wasn't excited as they wanted to see. Of course, I try my best to improve. Even now, I come to Thailand to improve my boxing skills. Of course, they want to see highlights, which highlights brings the money for the company, and it's a business for them. Uh, Whoever brings the highlights, it's a business for them. But I'm still young, and I believe I can develop my game to bring the excitement.
You mentioned the incident in the hotel. What are you referring to?
Between Manuel Cape and me, which happened in Vegas, and it's finished in Manchester.
Okay, and do you feel like you were in the right and the wrong in this? Like, can you tell us what happened from your perspective?
From all this situation, what happened now, I regret what happened. But at that time, I was thinking, I came to Manuel at the UFC PA to shake his hand because he's managed with Ali Abdulaziz, and we have a lot of close friends in between us who said, "Can we squash the beef between you and Cape?" I called him out a couple of times because I want to fight the best in the weight division, not because I take something personal. And then I came, shake his hand. He headbutted me, uh, cut my eyebrow 1 week before Alex Perez fight. I have like 7 stitches, and I was like, hey, I still need to fight because it was just right before Ramadan, and I've done my full camp. That's why against Alex Perez, I was shooting on my knees, staying down. I know it's a shit fight, but I had to do. I just beat myself to come to that cage with all these stitches, and then we squashed the beef, and then an interview he said again, I'm gonna do this to him again, and then this stuff happened in Manchester again
Yeah.
in the lobby in Manchester. But I started first because once I got headbutted, I couldn't sleep for many nights because if I lose fight, it's no problem. I'm a man. Somebody were better than me. But if somebody cheap shot you and then they split you up, I felt bad in that situation.
Did you know going into that fight in Manchester that that was going to be your last fight in the UFC?
I felt something. That's why in the post-fight interview, I asked for the new contract. I felt I'm on the last fight deal, and I didn't show the performance that UFC wanted. And but fighting against ranked guys and high-level guys like Manel Cape, there's a beef between me and him in the past, but I still respect him as a skills. He's a ex-rising champion, and when two high-level guys coming in front of each other, it's either knockout or it could be boring decision. So it was boring decision in my opinion.
Yeah, and maybe there was a lot of expectation going into that fight because of all the heat between you two, and it didn't quite live up to that once you got into the cage and were able to fight each other.
That's right. I think that too.
Did anyone tell you or your management before the fight, we need something spectacular, we need a finish. If we don't get a finish, if we don't get a highlight, as you say, we may not be interested in re-signing Mohammed?
No, something like this. I just knew I was on last fight deal with UFC, but definitely there was no. I didn't think they not gonna resign me. I still thought they give me like warning or something like this, but I just see the news. They didn't resign me. I feel bad in that day.
Yeah. Did you find out that night?
It was 4 a.m. I was fighting. 7 a.m. was main event, and about half 7, 8 a.m. I found out the news.
And
Post fight interview of Dana White.
right. And how did you react?
I was upset. Like, realistically, I was upset because this is my career. This is something um, I'm going to fight the best in the world organization, and this is dream. And it's not like I'm 32 years old coming to UFC. I was still 23 that night, and I'm thinking, what's next gonna be for me?
Dana has insinuated that the matchmaker said that you were difficult to work with. What is he talking about when he says this?
I really don't know. Like difficult, which way? 7 fights under 2 years, 4 finishes, never pulled out from the fight, never missed weight, under 24 months. I think that's what other flyweight have done this, and now I have 4 wins over top 15 ranked opponents, and difficult to work with. What? I don't understand. What?
So I would imagine when you get the information, when you get the news, in the immediate aftermath, it's like a little bit of a shock because here you are, beginning of your career. You were talking about being the youngest fighter to become champion, breaking John Jones's record. You had big plans, but then in the weeks and months later, because this was back in July, late July, um, how are you dealing with this news? Because all of a sudden, this dream that you had that was right there of being in the UFC is now very far away. It's out of your grasp. So how has it been for you mentally dealing with this?
Of course, it was hard for me, but I came to UK as a refugee, living on £5 a day. So it's not something worse can happen in my life than this is not worst part of my life happened, but it is a bump in my road which made me stronger mentally. I fly straight away to. I was actually after that I went to UFC event. Our teammate Shamil Ghazi was fighting. I was sitting in a VIP box in Abu Dhabi with Sheikh Khalid, the Prince of Bahrain, and he told me, um, where do you want to fight? And there was options like other organization, and there's a Brave which he's owned by, and he said, how much you're getting paid by UFC? Last fight I told him this, and he said, you're getting 3 times more in this organization. Come join Brave, and then wherever they call you, you we will let you fight back in UFC. And he always supportive. He said, whatever you support you need, you got us, and he's more than like he's a brother to me.
Wow. So in Brave now, which you had one fight for them, and I know that was a rocky road too because you had fighters pull out and whatnot, but you finally got the
Yeah.
fight and the win, an impressive win. They're paying
Yeah.
you 3 times more what you made in the UFC.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But it's still not make me happy
Why not?
because my dream is become the best in the world, and my dream always has been like this. Even if I get paid even 10 times more, my dream is more cost me. For me, price is more than the money.
Right. And have you tried personally to reach out to Dana White or to the matchmakers to clear the air?
Mm, it's I spoke to Hunter. I spoke to Hunter. He said it's like he said he said we will like he didn't say you like you never come back to UFC, and he said maybe like 1 2 fights away, and will get back negotiations. Maybe they won't see me get my confidence in my striking. Maybe I don't know. I don't really know. So I'm just want to stay busy.
Mm.
I just want to stay busy, and it's really hard for me to find high level opponents right now in this part of my career.
Hunter's obviously a very important person in the company. Hunter Campbell, he's pretty much number two to Dana. But I'm curious. Sometimes I have found in the past when fighters speak to Dana from the heart, he tends to, he tends to listen. And so, have you tried to reach out
Yeah.
to him?
I spoke also to Mick. I came to him at the hotel in UFC Abu Dhabi. I spoke to him. He was good. He was good. I explained him the situation. I'm in Brave right now. So wherever um, you're ready to sign me back, I'm free. Like I'm free agent. Like Brave doesn't hold me up. Brave
Yeah.
supports me, and I was with them before UFC as well. They treat me really really good, and but I was at the Power Slap event, and then I was like about 10 meters from me. But I didn't want to be annoying, jumping around, and I was sitting VIP section just now in the UFC Saudi Arabia, and I didn't want to be annoying, you know. I didn't want to be like, uh, hello, I'm Mohammed Mokaev, please sign me back. I didn't want to do this. They know my dream is to come back, and I'm here. That's it.
Could I ask who manages you now?
My contract is finished with team, and it's not like something between me and team. Is we're still talking. I still asking for advice, and now I don't have a manager because with Brave I'm directly with the Sheikh Khalid and the President Shahid Mohammed Shahid, and like right now I don't have a manager.
Do you think that helps? I don't know. I don't know the answer, but do you think it's better to have a manager? Do you think it helps you, or do you think it's something that is a non-factor in your situation?
I don't really know, Ariel.
Yeah.
I don't want to like I don't know. Like some people say, if you sign with this manager, he'll
Yeah.
get you back to UFC tonight with some like names. I don't want to mention, but how truth is it is. I don't want to make mistakes again in my career, and I just want to stay quiet, keep training, stay ready, and and maybe keep fighting under Brave. They're ready to give me fights whenever I want.
We see you staying ready. We see you training with the likes of Aljamain Sterling and others over in Thailand. Has it been hard to be motivated? Have you found yourself struggling at times to stay ready?
Um, of course, when I was in UFC, I was more motivated, and now I don't know like schedule
Yeah.
where like what like a goal. You know, I always live with the goal. Every man in the life have a goal, and that's the purpose. You wake up and go for it. Uh, I'm at this stage of my career, like I, whatever earned in UFC, I invested everything. So it's not if I end my career today, I'm financially stable right now, and I invested everything whatever I had, and now I just can sit and train, travel around the world, and but of course I had more motivation when I was in UFC.
When you look back, especially towards the end of your time in the UFC, do you have regrets? Do you look back and say, I wish I would have done this and that differently? Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. We've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show.
Maybe kicking off in hotel something that no needed. Maybe I was taking a little bit more personal. You know, like my rap goes after fun sometimes. Uh, I had this stuff, so like take it to personal, replying to comments sometimes. Now I don't do this anymore. Now I just live, enjoy, and I think I learned a lesson. A lot from this situation happened. Not like everything what it's new. See, it's around how my life. I think it changed better way. How I look at the world differently right now.
Can I specifically how? Like, what? How do you look at the world differently now? Like, even talking to you right now, Mohammed, I have to say, like, you seem a little more mature. You seem, maybe it's late there, so you're a little more reserved, but it does seem like you've grown up. but specifically, how do you look at the world differently now?
Now I have a kid, 2.5 years old. I have a family, and now I have to like be careful with stuff what's going on outside, and I'm not kid anymore.
Mm.
Where I can't just say sorry, I'm young. Now I'm not young anymore. Now I'm responsible for myself, my family, my circle. I have my team, which also there's young guys who are looking up to me, and and understand that every difficult moment in life just makes you stronger.
So when you're in Thailand, there is your son with you?
I have a daughter.
Excuse me, daughter. Is
Yeah.
your daughter there with you?
No, they're in Dagestan. They're in Dagestan because I wasn't supposed to come here. I was in Saudi, helping our teammates, and then I fly here just before Ramadan just to stay in shape, and then I will go see them. In most times I'm in the camp without my family. That's because I want to stay focused, and because when the daughter is next to you,
Yes.
I think it's hard to go and fight somebody.
Yes. No,
It makes you make your heart weak.
I understand that for sure. When you look at the state of the flyweight division, and Pantoja looking for opponents, he's talking about Demetrius. Is that hard for you because in an alternate universe, you're probably fighting him by now?
Yeah, and I think I'm only guy who can beat this guy in this division. My style is like, I remember Alex Pantoja before Alex Perez. He said, if he wins this fight, I will fight him. I will defend my belt against him. And then when I beat Alex Perez, he said I wasn't his his win wasn't excited. I'm like, what do you mean? But because I trained with him and I know his style, and I'm only guy who can beat Alex Pantoja right now in this division.
We spoke a couple months ago to Kai Kara France, who might be next for him, and he talked about your situation. He said that you were boring, that this is part of the reason why you're not in the UFC. What is your response to that?
Uh, when I joined UFC, if you see this his interview, Kai Kara France, he said, I watched him. He was an IMF world champion, and once he reached top 10, we can have a dance with him. And once I reached top 10, I think they'll all start hating me. And I remember even Manel was like in 2020, he posted like tweet about me. He said the future. And then when I come close to top 10, I start calling them out only reason because I want to fight the best. And they took it personal because young guy coming, taking what they couldn't take in past 5 6 years they've been in UFC, and I have more finishes than Kyle France in the UFC, by the way.
Wow. Do you think he beats Pantoja? Do you think he can beat Pantoja?
No, Kyle France is a great fighter. Um, he's a great fighter. I think he has good striking, but Pantoja is like a dog. He doesn't have like striking skills, I would say. He's just there to like fight, like a dog basically.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to stop his pressure.
Okay, so you favor Pantoja.
I would say Pantoja like 70-30.
A lot of people thought when you didn't resign with UFC that you would go to PFL. Have you had serious talks with them at all?
They recently called me about joining 135 tournament, and I said no. Respectfully, I appreciate their offer. I appreciate the offer. We have like a lot of mutual friends, and in Dubai, like twins. And but like I said, my dream is to be best in the world, to fight. And if UFC would say, listen, this guy never coming back, he's banned from UFC, like Dana said about Paul Daly,
Mm.
I would say, okay, that's it. I'm going and chasing, finding a new goal. And there's not something that they will never bring me back. There is chance, and I believe I will be back there.
You seem to have some sort of issue with Jake Hadley. You guys are going back and forth. Is that a fight that interests you? Is that something that motivates you?
No.
Okay.
No, he lost to my three previous opponents. So before he called them Uber drivers, like, but now, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I want, I just want to work on my improvement, my striking. I do a lot of boxing, sparring right now.
And I also saw Jared Brooks saying that you should come to One Championship. Uh, did you talk to them?
One FC offered me 6-fight deal,
Mm.
and I said no. I said no to them as well.
Because it's you don't have the same freedom that you do with Brave, right? You wouldn't be able
No,
to leave.
Brave is right now is the best option, and they like Ilya Topuria, Hamza Chimaev, Amir Albazi. There's so many guys who came through Brave to UFC. They never had issues with the organization, and they know rivalry. And I think in the future they might do something together, especially like UFC coming to Middle East, and like they can be supportive, like maybe on UFC Fight Pass or something like this. I think it's great organization which doesn't hold back the fighters.
Do
They'll
you have
let you go.
do you have your
Yeah.
next fight yet for Brave? Do you know when you'll be fighting?
They have April Switzerland. In Switzerland, I want to fight there.
Okay. And are there names that excite you there, that are interesting, that motivate you? Or at this point, perhaps it's not even about the names. It's just about you getting good wins, solid wins, highlight wins.
Yeah, before Dimitri Johnson retired, I want my dream to fight him. And then I spoke to him. He gave me good advice. He said, "Listen, invest everything." I spoke to him. He gave me real good advice. He DM'd me about my situation, what happened, and he said, "Just stay focused, stay ready. They will call you." And he said, "By the way, don't call me out. I'm leaving soon." And then he retired maybe like a couple months later. Yeah, but I just want to fight the best. If it's not the best, I'm not motivated. Just fighting for money.
Sure. So what do you think? How do you think this year plays out for you? How many times do you think you fight? And do you think by the end of 2025 you get back to the UFC?
What do you think, Ariel?
Well, I think you should be in the UFC, but if I'm being honest, I don't know what happened. Like Dana keeps insinuating, oh, difficult, this and that. But, let's be honest, Mohammed, there's a lot of difficult fighters in the UFC. There's a lot of egos. There's a lot of drama. You mentioned, there's incidents, Marab's doing this and that, among many, many others, way worse than that. And so it is very surprising to me that a 23-year-old, now 24-year-old who's undefeated in a weight class that needs contenders was just let walk out the door like that. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I believe that you will end back in the UFC. You will end up back in the UFC. The question is, does it happen this year, or does it have? One thing I will say about Dana in particular, like he does dig his heels in when he makes a decision. He makes a decision. But as far as you're saying, Hunter has said to you that it's not never. It's just maybe down the line, right?
Yeah, Dana has always been good to me. Like even Dana has always been good wherever I see him. He always like good to me. Maybe he's not. Uh, Maybe he's not aware of all situation. I don't understand. I don't know how the business works. I'm still new to it, and maybe they just want to give me lesson
Yeah.
to become more mature. And I think they give me more than lesson.
So I have my only two pieces of advice. I do think
Yeah.
that it helps if you have someone advocating for you, whether it's someone who has a friendship or relationship with the UFC. It could be a manager, an advisor, a consultant. But it's always helpful when you have someone speaking and working behind the scenes, so that it doesn't seem like you're, as you said, like begging to come back. I think that's a very important thing, and I have seen people have success when they try to speak directly to Dana. Not saying that you should go over Mick's head or Hunter's head, because they certainly can make decisions on their own 100%. But sometimes, as tough of a person as he is, he does have a soft spot, I do think. and I do think that there could be some good results for you with that.
Yeah, I had the idea to go talk to him at the event, and same time, um, uh, same time, like I said, I just didn't want to be annoying, And I remember I asked after Jafeli Filho's fight, I came up to Dana. Um, I came up to Dana. I asked Steven Reed, security. I said, "Can you take me back? Can you take me back of arena? I want to meet Dana. I never met him in my life. I never talked to him." And I was on my crutches after. I remember my leg nearly got snapped.
Yeah, yeah.
And Hunter, first time I met Hunter and Dana, there, I said, Dana, I'm not asking for new contract, not asking for money. I just want to ask you for top 15 opponent. And he said, recover your knee first, and you will get your ranked opponent. And then I got Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott.
Right.
Of course, Mick Maynard also, who is the person who signed me to UFC. And because of they didn't resign me, they gave me platform to fight 7 fights there. I put my name on the map. I built my brand, and I showed the people that I can fight against the best in the world at a young age. I didn't achieve the youngest UFC champion, but I came closer than anyone could at this before John Jones. And I cannot hate them or talk bad about them because they don't one thing. They didn't cook me. They just didn't resign me. Of course, the reason from their side, and because of um, usually people do a lot of good things to a person, and then if you don't do it once, it become bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be from that side. I'm
Well,
still thankful for whatever they've done to me.
I'm glad to hear that because you should be. They did put you on the map, and you did have a great run there. And you're one of the best fighters at 125 pounds in the world, and you're still so very young in your career. So I do think it's all going to work out for you. And I do suspect we'll see you back in there. That's just my 2 cents. Most importantly, for now, Mohammed, I'm very happy to have you on the show. I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully, maybe I don't know. This could be a symbol for other people that everyone from all walks of life, despite different opinions or beliefs or ideologies, religion, whatever, can be friends, can come together, and can have good conversations. And maybe sport can be the thing that can unite us.
Of course, sport always should unite us, and we should stop people to spread the hate.
Amen. Thank you, Mohammed. I look forward to talking to you again soon. I wish you luck out there.
Thank you so much, Ariel. I appreciate it.
Take care. There he is, Mohammed Mokaev, kind enough to join us from Thailand, and really, really happy to have him on the show. That was a great experience, and honestly, he does deserve to be in the UFC. 7-0 between March 2022 to July 2024. Wins over the likes of Manel Kape, Alex Perez, Tim Elliott, and Charles Johnson. He did have that win in Brave. But it is important to note 7 submissions. He had a submission back in December. He is actually third in the UFC for most submission wins in the flyweight division, behind one Demetrius Johnson and Alex Pantoja. And he is joint second with Pantoja for longest winning streak in UFC flyweight history. So it's quite the resume, and he is UFC caliber, if you ask me. And I would love to see him back in the UFC in due time. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.